Welcome to The Hard Truth with your host, Ozzie Knezovich. It has been an amazing month of Spokane city politics. About a month ago, the mayor goes to a prayer revival put on by local pastors, and the next thing you know, the internet has lit up, the social media trolls are at full strength, and headlines like this appear in the paper. Woodward faces condemnation after appearing on stage with Matt Shea at Christian nationalist event. Christian nationalist event? Did I just fail to mention that this event was put on by local pastors? And we're going to have one of those local pastors join us on the show in just a few minutes. And I believe what he's going to tell you is a little bit different than what you have been told on social media by the extreme left, Lisa Brown's camp, Betsy Wilkerson's camp, the activist camp, and our Spokane media. What do you mean? They got it wrong? Oh, shock and awe. Yeah, they did. I mean, I can't believe that the city council did what they did. But I also can't believe that another candidate running for mayor can continue to get a free pass on the things that she's been associated with. You know, the fact that she was a leader in a communist organization, the fact that her worldview was shaped by communist and anarchist and Black Panthers, one of them which was a rapist. I can't believe that she gets a pass for all that. But hey, look at this one. Lisa Brown can attend and speak at, mind you, an event put on by a convicted domestic terrorist and attempted murder. Yes, it is true. The Spokane media has a double standard here. The left has a double standard here. The mayor steps on a revival stage and Lisa Brown speaks at an event put on by a convicted domestic terrorist and attempted murder. In the brochure reads, Tuesday, May 9th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. That's this year. Lisa Brown speaks. That's amazing. No headlines, nobody up in arms. The double standard. It is a pure double standard. But you'll read headlines like this: Spokane City Council formally denounce Mayor Woodward for appearance at Christian national event. There's that word again, Christian national event. I don't know. It must be a thing because CNN says it's a thing. CNN says that it's real because they say it's an imposter Christianity that is threatening American democracy. The problem is, I think they got this a little confused. If you really want to talk about the real threat, and that would be Christian identity, which is very dangerous and evil. I've done many talks on that. But Christian nationalist, what's that? Is that like a white nationalist? The left seems to create these terms. You know, they just throw nationalists out there and pin another word up at the front. And sadly, it doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, and shame on us because we allow this. We're afraid to speak up. We're afraid to speak up because we might get canceled, or we might get denounced, or people might not like us. the sad thing is, I really didn't care what you all called me, what the media called me, what the left called me, what the trolls called me. I knew who I was, and the people important to me knew who I was. I knew I wasn't any of those things. My family, my friends, the community of Spokane County for 4 terms, they knew who I was. They didn't believe any of that. So maybe we need to start standing up and pushing back. And maybe the name calling will stop. And maybe we'll grow up, and maybe we'll be able to learn to talk to each other again and realize we all have different opinions. You might not like my opinion, I may not like yours, but it doesn't mean I have to hate you. I don't have to label you. That's what we do anymore. That's what we do anymore. And who did this? What council members took this step? Well, that would be 2 lame ducks, Lori Kinnear and Karen Stratton. And I'm glad their time is over, because you guys have done enough damage to Spokane. We'll talk about that in another episode. And then we have the would-be council president, Betsy Wilkerson. And, since Betsy wants to be council president, we're just going to call her council president for the rest of the show, this episode. I just hope you guys don't make that mistake and vote her into that position, because she doesn't care about you. I know Betsy. I know she doesn't care about you. She just cares about herself and her resume. And then we had Zach Sapone, Graham Biggs' lapdog. That's really all he is. It's amazing that these people decided to do that. And all it was is an election stunt for their friend Lisa Brown. The one that keeps getting the pass. The one that can speak at an event that was put on by a domestic terrorist and an attempted murderer. No condemnation there, none whatsoever. So, Betsy Wilkerson, I hope that you'll take me up on this offer and come on the show and talk about this issue and explain what it is you and your 3 compadres did here, since you want to be council president. And who are these evil people who put this rally on? These evil pastors, these Christian nationalists. Well, sadly, there are many members of the Spokane faith-based community which have been falsely labeled this term. One of them is my dear friend. He's a pastor that has worked diligently to save the lives of many people on the streets of Spokane. He has taken them off the streets of Spokane. He has helped them break their drug and alcohol addictions. He has helped them break the cycle of incarceration. He has helped them become better parents, which means that he's saving generations down the line. He's far from being a Christian nationalist. He's a Christian with a heart for Christ. He is my dear friend. Much more than that, he is more like a brother. His name is Pastor Danny Green. So welcome to the show, my brother in Christ, Pastor Danny Green. Danny, you were there.
Yes, you were there. Yep.
Are you a Christian nationalist? Let's start with that question.
I don't think so. I don't know. I just, when we're starting to get labeled with things that we don't even understand what they're doing. I'm a Christian. That is a fact. I love Jesus with all my heart, soul, strength, and mind, and that's what I believe. Nationalists, I don't know what they're trying to do, but no, I'm a Christian.
So, Danny, just how many pastors were there? I've heard all kinds of numbers thrown. One number was 31. I don't know. How many pastors actually attended?
There was a lot of them. There was a lot of them. We had quite a few of them on stage that we started the whole thing off with prayer. and they were all up there, and we all prayed. There was a big number. I never counted. If somebody said 31, that'd be probably a good count. But yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot of us pastors there worshiping the Lord.
And you know many of them. Are they radical Christian nationalists?
No, not that I. Nope. No, they're not. They're good people. They're good men with their wives beside them up there on the stage as we prayed, and they're just good men. They're good Christian men that loves the United States of America, one nation under God. We love for the Lord.
So, Danny, what was the event about? I mean, there's a lot of hyperbole about the event. What was the event actually about?
Well, it's let us worship. We have Sean Foyt, uh, who I absolutely love. Sean Foyt. I mean, his heart and passion is for Spokane, for America, and he's going to all the states to worship and bring Jesus into all the states of the whole United States, and he's been doing it. I mean, he's been here about two or three times, and he brings just an amazing gift. He's got amazing gift of power of Jesus and the power that he has, and he really does. And I've been to. I even went to Missoula, Montana, to Sherry and I, and brought another couple over there because we just believe in what he's doing is bringing the light of Jesus into our country. It really is. And it's really powerful. That's why I drove all the way there just to support him. He's just a great guy. He's got a guy named Jay that's with him that loves the Lord as a pastor, and he just loves the Lord. And that's what it's all about. It's about bringing people to the Lord. You know, just bringing people to worshiping the Lord with all of our heart, soul, strength, and mind. And what happened here in Spokane was absolutely amazing. The teenagers, man, they were just. It was so. We were up there and looking at saw these teenagers, and I'm telling you, Ozzie, and the world, whoever is listening, that these teenagers that are they're getting just bombarded with all kinds of things that they can be whenever they want to be. They can do these, I mean, these teenagers had their hands raised and they're crying. They were so moved by the worship that was going on with Sean Foyt. It was powerful. It was so powerful. It was Sherry and I were just like, oh my gosh, look at what's going on here. And then, and then I guess everything broke loose. I guess something didn't go right with somebody, and and the mayor was there, and that was powerful. The mayor, it was powerful, and she was up there, and she got up there, she prayed, and to me it was just amazing. She was touched. She's a great woman of faith that was up there, just with her body of friend, her body right here of about Christians standing there and loving on her, because that's what it was. It was just about bringing her up there and just letting people see that how wonderful of a person she is. I'm not saying anybody's perfect, right? None of us are perfect, but she really is striving to be what she's supposed to be, and she loves Spokane. She loves Spokane, Washington, and she's been a great mayor. And to me, I think she's been a great mayor, and I was right there supporting everything that was going on with our mayor.
Yeah. Danny, the way you describe the person that you were talking
about.
Oh,
no, Sean Foyt.
Okay. If he's so powerful a speaker, do you hear him teach or preach about overthrowing the government or doing nefarious things to overthrow the government? Anything like that?
No. Nothing like that. He's not that. That's not the kind of a man he is. He is not. He's got a wife. He's got kids, and he just loves everybody. He really does, and you just feel it and you sense it. He's a great man. He's a great worship leader for everybody. I mean, just the young to the old. I mean, I love listening to him, and I'm getting old, and but there's young kids and young adults, and everybody were there. And they just, to me, they said 1,500. I thought there were like 4,000 people there, and that was from the smoke. We had all the smoke and the fires going on, so we had to change the venue to go into the what is it called? Podium, yeah, the podium. We're in the podium, and was changed at all, but people still showed up there, and it was a great night of worshiping our Lord, and it was so amazing, and to be tarnished, for and what they're calling him and what they're calling all of us is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it just frustrates me that they would take something that was really good and seeing those kids worshiping the Lord and some of them, and they threw some of the kids and even the adults. I mean, they threw their drugs, they threw the stuff that they came with, with addiction, and they threw it up on the stage. They got rid of it, and he prayed for them, and Jay prayed for him, and it was just so powerful to see those kids going, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. That's what it was. Those kids really accepted, a different style of life with Jesus. I believe that. And it was so touching and so moving, what I mean? And then with our mayor there, it really was a touching, really touching night. And then it all went south.
Danny, what it sounds like, because anybody that the left deems to be too much of a threat, I'm just going to throw it out there this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too much of a threat gets demonized.
Yeah.
And I've watched it. I, quite frankly, have lived it. I just don't understand their philosophies. I don't understand where they come from on this. But they throw those labels really, really quick, really quick.
Yeah.
Again, you were there, and I have to ask the hard question. Matt Shea steps up on stage. Did anybody see that coming?
No, we did not see that coming. Really, I did not, and nobody that I know of that saw that coming. Normally we're all the pastors are up there and we all pray. He wasn't there at that time with us, and we came down, and then the mayor came up, Nadine Woodward came up, and with some other ladies and people, and then Matt Shea came up, and the mayor had no idea that he was going to be there and speak, but he spoke, and yeah, and what he spoke was, it was nothing bad. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, because that seems to be the crux of the issue is, the mayor, how dare she appear on the stage with Matt Shea, but everybody I have talked to, including the mayor, has said, had no clue that was going to happen, didn't know what was going to happen, and it's no secret to anybody.
I didn't know what was happening. I'm involved with it all the time. I had no idea that Matt was going to be there to do what he did. Had no idea. So it wasn't. She had no idea. She had no idea. I believe that with all my heart.
So how many media people came and talked to you?
None.
Yeah.
None.
How many of the city council called and said, "Hey, Pastor Green, you were there. What was this horrible thing the mayor did?"
Zero.
So we indict people and we convict people based on our perception of the reality that we see, rather than going, no, the mayor attended a prayer meeting, and next thing she knows, she's got Matt Shea next to her, and but we indict her for that because everybody in Spokane knows my feelings concerning Mr. Shea. It's not a secret, and it really hasn't changed. It's just the way it is. But he also is an American, just like every other American. He has rights too, and as much as I disagree with him on almost everything,
but he did that night. He did speak the truth. He prayed, and really, that's what he did. There was nothing he did that was like, go against America or go. Nothing was ever said like that. It was all about prayer and Jesus and just praying for our mayor. And that's what he did.
Well, my estimation is, shame on the Spokane media.
Yeah.
Once again, you didn't do your jobs. You
right.
took the sensationalism, you took the algorithm, you took what you were seeing on Facebook and all that, and oh my God, this has got to be the worst thing on earth that ever happened. And I saw a lot of those posts and tweets and everything else, and that's what they ran with, and that must be how all of Spokane feels about this. There were a lot of people that were not happy that that happened, but I think once they find out the truth, that Matt did what Matt did. So what is what the bottom line is going to be? And I truly believe that this is going to backfire on the Spokane City Council. I really do. Betsy Wilkerson, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you. And Bessie, I'm inviting you right here, right now, to come on this show and explain yourself. Explain yourself, because I believe you're council president. Explain yourself and the actions of your peers in this matter, and tell us what you did to research. You came close to condemning her. You stepped back a little from that and just flat denounced her. But what did you talk to these pastors? Apparently not, because at least Danny hasn't been contacted, and I'm sure that if I started calling pastors, I'll probably not find very many that were contacted. But the reality is, what you have done here is you've indicted your faith-based community, a large section of your faith-based community. Both you, council members, you, Council President Wilkerson, and you, Spokane media, have indicted a large section of your faith-based pastors that do extremely good work for the community of Spokane. You indicted them with a false label, all because you don't like one of the presenters. You've labeled him a Christian nationalist, but you have indicted all of them as being the same. I mean, that headline, you can't miss that headline. You cannot walk back that headline that the Spokesman Review has of Woodward faces condemnation after appearing on stage with Matt Shea at Christian nationalist event. They labeled it as a Christian national event when it was an event put on by local pastors. You have indicted them all.
Yep.
And how dare you? Danny, if I was still in Spokane,
We miss you.
if I was still living there, I would do this. Danny, on behalf of the community of Spokane County, we apologize. None of you deserve that. None of you deserve that. And my heart breaks for you, man.
Yeah.
I know what you do. I know who you are. And for them to try to paint you as this ugly label, a label that they don't really understand, and if they really did the research, they'd understand that Christian nationalism, what they want to paint that as, is really Christian identity, and that is bad. I've done multiple talks on that one. That is bad, but you're not it. That is not you. That is not your cohort of pastors that were there. Now, do I agree with everything that all pastors say and do? No, I don't. There are some that I go, and I would assume they don't agree with everything I do. But I don't label people. Right. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I slap a label on you. But that's what we do anymore. And the left does it very effectively and very quickly. To run down, to cancel anyone that they don't agree with. And this is a threat to our nation. What they're doing is, I mean, you have a constitutionally protected right to, one, appear in public, two, to your religion, because that amendment does not say freedom from religion, it says freedom of religion. You have the right to do that. You have the right to be on that stage. You have the right to your own thoughts. If I disagree with you, I don't go. That's as simply as this gets. I do not go. Danny, like I said, from my heart, I apologize to what you and your pastors have been labeled. what they've turned your event into. And God bless you, my friend. You do great work. You and your wife are special to me and my wife. And I pray for you always. I missed you this month. First time in almost 17 years that I wasn't there walking with you, with your congregation of recovering folks that are trying to break through the cycle of incarceration, the burden of addiction. I love your church. They are real people. That's my wife. My wife loves going to your church because she says, I get to be around real people.
Amen.
People that are just trying to change their lives and do what God says. So thank you for coming on this show.
I want to let you know that we take the same path that you laid out for us. That's the Sheriff Ozzie path for the walk for recovery. So that's you're always here in our heart.
I get that, and I appreciate that. But Danny, thank you for being on. It's been great talking with you. Great seeing you. I'm going to be up in the Spokane area sometime in October if I find enough of a window. Paul and I will come up and give you both a hug on our way through. Yeah, and just know that not all of Spokane believes what radical left and our biased media is throwing at you. And again, Betsy, mic's yours. I want to hear. I want to hear what you did and why you did it to this man. To this man, his wife, his congregation, and to the faith-based community of Spokane. You labeled them terrorists. Let's get it real. You labeled them terrorists. Folks, this is Ozzie Knezovich with the hard truth. Have a great week. We'll see you in the next show.